Making your way in the shuttle bay takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your duties sure would help a lot. Or wouldn't you like to beam away? Sometimes you boldly go where everybody knows your name, and the android's glad you came. You want a subspace frequency where troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go and make it so, a cup of tea, hot or Earl Grey. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
Well, we're back after a very, very long break. It's definitely our longest break over the last 6 years nearly. I think it's been about 6-7 weeks. I'm Michael Ball, and this is the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast. I think this is episode 222, I think it is. It doesn't matter if it isn't. It's somewhere around there. I'm joined by my two partners, not in that way. Martin Fowler in London. Hello, Martin.
Hello.
Hello, matey. And also in London, Malcolm. Well, I think he's in London. Malcolm, how are you doing, matey?
Yeah, all good.
Good. So we wanted to talk about tonight because it has been a big break, but there's been quite a lot in the sci-fi news arena recently. So Strange New Worlds is going to be our focus, and we've got a lot to talk about that. But there's been quite a lot since we were last together. So I'm going to just run through a few things. Obviously, you guys might have some stuff as well. So let me just start with the first thing that springs to mind, and I don't think you two will be that disappointed, is that there was going to be a further 3-part special new episode of Red Dwarf, which hasn't been on the air with anything since the Promised Land in 5 years ago. It has just been announced that it's been cancelled due to lack of funding, because I think the BBC have got less money, and I think it's affiliated with the people that are doing it. I think it's Dave that did it before. What are your opinions? Are you disappointed, indifferent? I think Malcolm's not that bothered, are you? Because he felt it's been...
Yeah, I've not watched any since they did the X, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, 10. They did Back to Earth.
Back to Earth, then it was 10.
That 3-part nonsense meta one.
Coronation Street thing, yeah.
And then they came out. I think Dave took it over after that, and that's when Rob Grant came back
And
as
Doug
the writer.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, I think the show went downhill massively when he left. Mm-hmm. And if you look at the books they wrote, so the two of them wrote 2 books together, and then the third book they both wrote a sequel, but one wrote Backwards and one wrote Almost Human. And Almost Human is not funny at all, whereas Backwards is hilarious.
Oh, yeah,
and that's
yes.
So you can see who was there.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I've not watched. I kept trying to watch it. I think I saw the one where Rimmer turns out to be smarter than his brother, or rescues his brother, or something.
So did you not see it all? Have you not seen all the I
just couldn't get into it. I keep meaning to. I just couldn't get into it.
I like them, actually. They're a mixed bag, but I think there were still some good episodes. Martin, what did you think about the newer episodes? Were you completely?
They were all right. They were 1 or 2. I like the one with Rimmer's brother. But it were nothing special. Like, I think it deserves 1 episode to finish it. To get to
I think that's what they were going to do. They're going to do one lot because they're
just
getting
finish
old now.
it.
Yeah,
I think it just. Or if there were rumors of a film, weren't there?
Yeah, it's been bouncing around for years. The film, and then they went back to TV.
I think it deserves the final. But to be honest, I can take it or leave it. Red Dwarf first 5 seasons, you can't touch it.
Yeah.
But it just slowly started going on the degrade after season 5.
Yeah, I like season 6 as well. I think season 7 was.
Season 6 is good. Yeah.
Season 7 is when they brought back Kachansky, and I didn't like the second Kachansky. I always had a bit of a thing for Claire Grogan, who was the first Kachansky.
Yes.
So when the second one came along, and she was posh and she was different, and she was more, ooh, it just didn't fit for me. And also, they changed the history a bit because she was then supposed to have had a relationship with Lister, and in the originals, Lister had always wanted to go out with Kachansky and never did. So I thought that was a bit annoying. So the continuity was always a bit dodgy. in Red Dwarf.
Yeah. The other thing, what I mean, like, he's Aldi's in now. Craig Charles must be in his 60s.
Yeah, he is. I think he's in his
Yeah,
early
Just
to mid
carrying on
60s.
being a slob at 60, but there's no
Well,
evolution.
the story was that the last episodes he was going to somehow travel back in time to when he was Lister in his 20s and trying to change his future. And apparently
But they've
Rimmer was
done
going to
that
go.
before.
Yeah, I know.
he was
I
supposed
know.
to stop it, wasn't he?
Yeah, and but I mean, I think the actual episode before the Promised Land was in some ways it was like almost like the last episode because we saw the original Red Dwarf bunks, we saw Holly back, we saw Rimmer like he looked in the first season. It was like an alternate type dimension thing, and in the end, Lister at one point was captain, and I kind of like that episode.
And
And then go on.
the whole Lister going back to change his past and Rimmer trying to stop him is an episode they've done already.
Yeah, a lot of this has been done in some
Couple of
form.
times.
Yeah, it's been
Couple
done
of
in many.
times.
It's not new, and I think it's sort of like this discussion is already actually showing that there's only so many times you could go back to similar premise, and do it again and again and again.
I think what they could do is they get back to Earth and somehow there's some cosmic weird event and he ends up with Kachansky at the end and give it a Rimmer. I don't know. Rimmer finds something finally to make him.
I would like
get
to
over
see
his
them. I would like,
There's something on Earth or something. I think they should give it a positive ending, but
he's supposed to end up with Kachansky because we see in the episode Stasis Leak, he meets himself,
yeah,
who's come back from the future.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
tells him
yeah,
that he gets
yeah.
together. Yes,
Yeah.
and they finally get together. And then of course, I would like to have seen them get back to Earth and see what Earth is like 3 million years in the future, and whether what's happened to like evolution, whether there's like the ants have taken over or something, which Lister once said. I don't know, but in some ways, it being left open, kind of like, in some ways, is kind of like makes you think. Well, you can have your own interpretation of what you think would happen. So
Very quickly, have you ever read Rob Grant's book Colony?
no.
I absolutely recommend that. That is so funny. That is it's very similar to Red Dwarf in that he treats the main character in this like he would treat Lister if he hated him. Like the stuff that goes wrong in this guy's life and how far everything goes wrong for this guy. He's basically on a spaceship, a colony spaceship out, and it's just so funny.
Really? Okay, worth a check. So obviously that's Red Dwarf, RIP, but it had a good innings. It was on from 1988 until the last special in 2020. It's not bad going.
I mean, it has, hasn't it? It's had a good run, hasn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, that's the one thing the other thing I've been focusing on, and I know that Malcolm's seen them with me, and I don't think you have yet, Martin, is Alien Earth. Have you seen any of that yet, Martin?
No, I've got them. I've not watched it yet.
Oh, it's good.
good.
Yeah, I like it. It's again, it's I don't know. It's one of those things that people are really getting into. Other people are saying it's shit. And Malcolm, I think you're quite enjoying it. You liked episode 5 a lot because I remember you talking about that. I think it's really good.
Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. The people online, the whole. I think there are people that deliberately sit down to watch something just to then like, what am I going to not like about this episode, and all this kind of stuff, and it's just getting annoying now. Like there's guys out there going, oh, this is nonsense. The continuity's bollocks because there weren't 5 corporations.
Oh, fuck off. Yeah,
and I'm like, well, hang on a minute. Just because Ripley's team woke up from hyperspace, had dinner, and didn't mention the other 4 corporations before Kane gets and all that doesn't mean they don't exist. Yeah. And also, we haven't seen the end of this series yet. And to be fair, it's not even supposed to be the end of season 1. He wants 5 seasons, so. It won't.
How many episodes? How many episodes is it per
10,
season?
isn't it? Is it 10 or 8?
10, I think.
10.
I think
maybe.
It's 10.
There's 2 more to go. So.
Oh, so it's 8 then.
Yeah.
I've been very engrossed in Foundation, so
I've watched it. I've got 1 more episode to go.
I've got 2.
And I know that Malcolm wasn't that. I mean, it's very, very slow, but I'm pretty addicted to it now. I love
it. It's interesting, but I just need to slog down and stop falling asleep during it.
Yeah,
and just get into it.
I was like that in the first season. But I'm connected somewhere, and I can't turn it off now. I want more.
Have you seen the whole thing though? Because it has been renewed for a 4th season.
I'm on episode 7 now.
Oh, so I'm ahead of you. I've only got one more to go.
Yeah.
But
I'm finishing it this week.
We're watching obviously the Mule is coming along, and of course Dawn, Day, and Dusk. They're all going in their separate ways. It's all looking
Fall of Empire now.
It's a Fall of Empire, and even the opening titles are showing that Empire is just self-destructing. And
I love it.
The Mule. I really like
Mule.
it. Yeah, the Mule's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm very into this. It's very strange because the first season it was like a hard slog, and it was, but I'm really into it. I love it.
I'm gonna say this. Foundation shits all over June for me.
I still haven't seen the second June.
I know my uncle loved the June books, but he said the Foundation books were the best science fiction novel ever written.
Yeah, I have to concur with that. I saw June too, and I was bored shitless.
Yeah, I still haven't got around to watching it.
But don't bother.
I need to. I think Foundation for me, I need to see the whole series probably about 3 or 4 times to really click with it. There's so many multi-layered aspects and different parts to it that for me, maybe I'm just a thick div or whatever, but I need a bit more to really ingratiate into this universe. But I know I'm getting there. And I will definitely watch that. I will definitely watch the whole thing again.
I'm starting on Ark this week.
I've got the Ark. Oh yeah, I'm going to check that out. Oh, by the way, go back to Foundation. Did you see that it had 2 Star Trek elements? Roxanne Dawson, obviously B'Elanna Torres, directed some episodes.
Yes.
And Julian Bashir, Alexander Siddig is in it as well. He's in a few episodes as well. So I just thought that's a nice thing for Star Trek fans.
Have you heard of a series called The Beacon?
No, I
watched I forgot all about it. I watched about the first 5 episodes, maybe 4 or 5 episodes, and then I forgot all about it. Now you mention it.
I'd say somebody I've been recommending.
Or is it Beacon 23? Is that the one? Beacon 23.
Yeah, it's about a cosmic lighthouse in an anomaly or something at the end of the universe.
Is it like it's a new show? Is it?
Space.
If it's
it's 2 years old.
I've also been watching 12 Monkeys for the first time. I've finished the first season, and obviously Terra Metalis co-wrote it, and it's got a lot of Picard actors in it. It's actually quite good. Is
it better than the film?
Do you know what? I don't remember the film that well. It's so long since I've seen the film, so I thought I would watch the TV series and then go back to the film. So I go on.
Other than the money shot at the end of the film, I don't really remember it at all.
I just remember the last scene.
Punchline at the end, and that's it.
Yeah. So that's one worth checking out. And as a Walking Dead fan, Stephen Merchant in the first episode of season 3 of Daryl Dixon, that was brilliant. He's the last Briton alive in London. It's really, really funny. It's really good. So it's well worth. So it's just to see Stephen Merchant. Yeah.
I'd just like to say R.I.P. Robert Redford.
Yeah, I heard it about 2 or 3 hours ago. Yeah, 89 years old. Obviously had a good life, but that's just come through on my watch. It pinged about a couple of hours ago. So R.I.P. Robert Redford. What else have you two heard? Anything that you want to share and discuss?
I went back and started to rewatch Altered Carbon again. I don't know if you guys ever saw that when it came out.
I thought it was Altered States, but not Altered Carbon.
Altered, yeah, that's like Blade Runner somehow.
Kind of. It's that kind of cyberpunk sort of thing.
2 episodes.
Basic premise is everybody now has something called a stack in the back of their neck.
Right.
And that has all your personality on. So if you die, they can take the stack and basically put it in another. They call it sleeves, just put it in another body. But it is quite good. It's quite an interesting. The second series was completely different cast and completely different to the first series, but because you can swap these stacks around.
How many seasons have they done?
Only 2. It was only 2, and then it got canned. Yeah,
but it's worth checking out.
Yeah, definitely. Joel Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman, is that his name? The guy who played Robocop in the remake.
Oh, okay.
I saw Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah. I want to talk about the big summer blockbusters. So
I'm just going to say I'm fed up of saying Pedro Pascal in it.
He's in everything, isn't he?
It's true.
Yeah,
it's 100% true. He did one good. He's like Benedict Cumberbatch. He did one good role, and suddenly everybody wants him. And he's not. He's a good actor.
What was his best role? What was his best role, though?
What, Pedro Pascal?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Game of Thrones.
I never watched that. I never got into games.
Is that where he came from? Did he come
I
from?
think, I think I
I
heard
think he's been
that.
in stuff before that, but that's when he's the
That's
guy
when
who
he
gets his head
broke out.
exploded.
That's when he became
You know,
so
that was
famous.
his big role.
Do you know, when I watched Mandalorian, I think it was Mandalorian season 2, and there's that episode where he's got his helmet off in the Imperial canteen.
Yeah, that's the
I was
one with
getting
Bill
so
Burr. Isn't it?
annoyed. I just thinking, put that helmet back on.
Yeah, it was lucky yucky. Yeah.
Do you know
exactly.
what I mean? It's all right. I mean, you know, but it's just
Yeah, but
an
the Last of Us. Oh my God, the second season. After episode 4, I think he died in episode 2. Sorry, spoilers. The character in that, and then that awful girl was in it who I can't stand, and I never finished it. I loved the first season. I couldn't watch the second season. It just turned to absolute shite.
I've got it on my to-do list, but like you say, because it got such bad and I shouldn't let write-ups affect me, but because it got such bad write-ups, I just can't muscle up.
I gave up after
to
about
read
2
it.
episodes after he left. 28 years later, I've seen it. I think I meant
Is
to.
it good?
I loved it. It was really, really good.
I've not seen it yet.
No, it's good.
There's another one coming out next year.
Yeah, it's a sequel in Jan. It's got a lot of the characters from this one in it as well. So that's a thumbs up.
Did it do well? Did it do well?
Yes, it did. It did do well. I think it did
Okay.
better than the first two, and it's
I read I saw some YouTubers really bashing it.
oh, they
But
bash
I've not
everything.
seen it yet. I've not seen it.
I watched The Naked Gun, the new one, and I know Malcolm's seen it as
I
well.
liked it.
I loved it. It was brilliant.
I liked it.
And a lot of people
liked
like Mark Commode really panned it, and I was surprised because I like his reviews. He did again. The humor's down to the individual. I thought it was really good.
That
Spinal
is
Tap.
definitely a film that so many people went into that film destined to hate it. They were going in going, "Oh, no one can ever do what Leslie Nielsen
Oh no,
done."
it was good. It
And
was
Liam Neeson
really,
pulled it
really
off.
good. I think it
pulled it off
respected the
brilliantly.
originals. It was a great continuation. I loved it, and I don't think they're going to make a second one because comedies just don't make money. And like the new Spinal Tap is coming out now, and I know that Malcolm's not the biggest fan of that, but I love the original, and apparently the second one, even though it's all right, it's doing terrible because it's not being advertised, and it's a more of a specialized sort of film. It's not going to be mainstream. Only people who like the original are going to want to see the sequel, and of course the original was made 40 years ago, so it's not going to do well, unfortunately. But I think The Naked Gun, I think that was definitely popular enough because the originals were big, and of course Police Squad was so funny when that series was made, that I'm really glad they did it. And I'll always see it as a great continuation of the Leslie Nielsen film sort of elements of what he did. What else have I said? So, Superman. Obviously, I'm not the biggest Superman. What did you both think of the new Superman?
I liked it. I thought it was good.
I thought it was all right. I thought
I
it was
really
okay.
enjoyed it. We didn't go into the old Krypton thing. It got straight into.
Yeah, I
film.
like the fact that he was already there as an adult and already working for the Daily Planet. Yeah, I thought that was good.
The guy that played Lex Luthor was very good.
Yeah. He's
Enjoyed it.
almost, but not quite as good as the guy from Smallville.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I've got not about. It was just very enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. It was good. It was good. It was definitely when people have asked, I've said it's basically more of a movie comic, whereas Man of Steel was, Man of Steel was a legitimate superhero drama.
That's it. We're like picking up a live comic.
But yeah, this was just a comic. It was just a bit of fun.
Yeah, I get that analogy. I get that.
Millie Alcock at the very end, her little Supergirl cameos. So, you're now intrigued. You want to see the Supergirl film.
I like Nathan Fillion as Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I thought it was very good.
Did you guys see the new Jurassic Park movie
No.
this year,
Yes.
Rebirth?
I just don't have
seen
time for Jurassic Park anymore.
What did you think
I've
of it,
seen it.
Malcolm?
It's all right. It's basically if Jurassic World was a remake of Jurassic Park, then this is a remake of The Lost World.
Yeah,
Basically,
I
that's
got
all
that.
it is.
I can get that. Yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah,
I didn't mind it.
Oddly
I
enough,
saw
the
last
scene
one,
when they're in the river on the
Hmm.
yellow dinghy and the Tyrannosaurus is swimming after them
Yeah.
is taken from the original Jurassic Park book.
Really? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
I didn't know
Grant
that. So they added
and the
into it.
kids end up on a raft down a river, and the Tyrannosaurus is stalking them, and they think it can't swim until it does.
Okay. Sorry, Martin, you were saying you haven't seen the recent ones.
No, last one I saw where they're in the bubble cars.
Oh,
where they drive round the park.
Oh, it's been
that's the
freezing.
first,
They're
wasn't
in the
it?
book
Yeah,
as
I mean
well.
they're bubble
They're in
cars in
them
the.
fall car things, like
I think they
setting
had
up.
that in the first Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't.
Chris Pratt, and he were friendly with the
Yeah, but Chris
what they
Pratt was
call
in the
the
second
raptors
one.
as
Was he
well.
in 3 or 2? Chris Pratt.
It's in 2 and 3.
Yeah.
2 and 3.
So
So
yeah,
I've not seen the new one.
yeah. I mean, do you think that Jurassic Park itself is just a kind of tired kind of format that? I mean, they still make them, so there must be an audience for them.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like
people go and see them.
Transformers, isn't it? And it people still go see them. I saw the last one; that was terrible. But there's an audience for it, isn't there? I never got into Transformers or Jurassic Park.
No, I mean, I was into Jurassic Park. I was never into Transformers. What do you hear about? Think about the new Star Wars film, Starfighter. I mean, it's early days, but they're going to do a proper standalone movie, not in the Mandalorian universe. It's going to be set post sequel era. Interested? Indifferent? What do you both think of
See
that?
Don't know
what
much about
happens.
it.
Not bothered.
Okay, what did you say, Malcolm? Sorry, you talked at the same time.
I don't know much about it. I've not read much about it, to be fair. I don't
Yeah,
really know.
Isn't it
no,
Ryan Gosling or something?
yeah, I think so. That's the yeah. I was trying to think of the main lead, so I'm not. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's been in, but apparently he's quite a big role in certain things. I don't know what. Do you know what he's been in? Ryan Gosling?
The latest Fall Guy movie was him, wasn't it?
Was that?
He's been in loads of stuff.
Yeah, but I think he's got quite a good reputation, so that's obviously a good sign.
I always get him mixed up with Ryan Reynolds, and that played Death. For some reason I get them two sort of mixed up.
Yeah, it's like in the original Raiders of the Lost Ark film, there's a female actress with dark hair. I can't remember, but I always mix her up with.
Marion
Karen
Crane.
Allen.
I always mix her up with Brooke Adams, who was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I always mix up those two actresses together. But
Karen Allen, yeah.
yeah, but they both were with Donald Sutherland, and Donald Sutherland filmed Animal House during exactly the same time as he filmed The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and he looks exactly the same. And both those actors are in their respective films, so for some reason I've always mixed those two together for some reason. So I don't know why. Isn't it weird how sometimes you get actors mixed together? So yeah. What else have we got to report? Doctor Who is still in limbo. Not that I'm really that bothered anymore.
No.
It's they've got the war between the
Well,
land
there's a
and
new
the
Doctor
land and the
Who
sea, the
TV
spin-off.
show coming, isn't it?
Yeah, New Year in next year. It looks all. Yeah, it's called something like the war between the land and the sea or something.
No, I mean, isn't there a kids' cartoon of Doctor Who coming out, or is it Star
Oh.
Trek that's got a kids' cartoon? A
There's
Doctor
a-
Who, I'm sure, a Nickelodeon thing. Surely?
There's a Star Trek cartoon for preschool coming up as well.
Oh, maybe I'm getting confused. Maybe it's that. It's on
I don't
Nickelodeon.
know. I don't know.
There is rumours when Kurtzman goes at Christmas that the Skydance that are taking over, is it Paramount or whatever, they're looking at doing Assignment Earth.
Oh, really?
Oh,
What,
yeah,
you mean?
yeah, well,
Well, no,
that's
because that originally that was going to be its own TV series. It was
Yeah,
the
well, they're
Assignment
looking
Earth
at
was
that.
a pilot.
They're looking at it, yeah. It's like it might happen.
I mean, we'll go into Strange New Worlds in a minute, but of course, it's very interesting that they're rushing production now of Strange New Worlds is literally starting tomorrow, season 5, for a 6-episode season 5, shorter than the norm. And then Starfleet Academy season 2 is already in production. And according to Jay on Tachyon Pulse, and I think he's right about this one, he said that Skydance, the company that's doing it at the moment, I can never remember the name, Alex Kurtzman's company, have got to get all their production done, i.e. filming. They can still do post-production. The filming is going to be done by December the 31st, 2025. So they are literally, I've heard that they haven't even finished doing the scripts for season 5, Strange New Worlds, even though they're starting filming tomorrow, because they're rushing, because they realise that it's looking quite obvious, from what I understand, that Alex Kurtzman's company is out. Skydance wants they've got until Christmas to do production, and then they'll be able to do post-production and stretch it out for next year in 2027. And then Paramount, from what I understand with Skydance, they want a whole new in-house perspective, clean sweep, start again after all the toxicity of the Alex Kurtzman's era over the last, it's 2017, I think it is. It's been 8 years, I think. I, for one, am in favour. I think we'll have a big gap. I think they'll try to stretch it out with the stuff that they're doing now, and then we'll have a big gap until new stuff by Paramount probably hits the screens in, well, it'll take ages to do it. I'd say 2028, 29, I'd say. It'll be a gap. But are you two in favour of a complete clean sweep with the Star Trek franchise?
Yeah, I think we'll probably see something in 2027.
Well, what we'll see in 2027 is probably Strange New World season 5, I'd imagine. But that might be all we see that year, unless they stretch out Academy. I mean, let's think about it, right? If you have Academy, which I believe is coming in spring 2026, they'll probably put Strange New World season 4 at the end of 2026, say autumn time or something. And it'll be on for 10 weeks. And then I reckon what they'll do is 2027, then they can show season 2 of Academy in the spring again. And then Strange New Worlds, the shorter season, will be right at the end of 2027. By then, hopefully Paramount will then be at the point where they've got the new people involved. The writing's kind of got to the point where they're starting to do production and actually do it. So they won't have a huge gap between.
I think they're going to resurrect Legacy. I think that's what's coming.
Everybody wants it. Alex Kurtzman.
It's a money spinner.
The thing is, I have heard rumours, and again, it is rumours that basically Alex Kurtzman wasn't that much involved in Picard season 3. It was Terry Matalas. And everybody says that Terry Matalas, obviously now he's gone on to work for stuff in Disney, that because it wasn't really Kurtzman's, he was just more of a background, that it almost out of arrogance, he kind of said, no, I don't want to do Legacy. And you hear these things, half of them crap, but you do hear that, because he was the less involved with this, and Terry Matalas was like, really got a positivity from the Trek community that it didn't sit well with Kurtzman. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. I think it's an interesting perspective. I mean, whether Star Trek goes back to films again, I mean, I've always thought Star Trek works better as a TV show than films. And I know that some people are saying that they want that as well. So I don't know. It was all very interesting. And I mean,
the other thing about Legacy is everybody's going, oh, Jerry Ryan wants to do it. She might wanted to do it a year ago. She might still want to do it now. But 2 years from now, who's to say what she's going to be doing? She could have her own.
She might have be involved with something else. Yeah, I mean, it depends on availability. I mean,
exactly. So
but you could still set a show set around that period.
Oh,
you could still set a show with a new crew.
But then they could have done that with
Legacy comes out and it isn't Jerry Ryan. It's just going to fail anyway, unfortunately.
But then they could have done that with the period of Starfleet Academy. They could have set it exactly after Picard season 3. They could have had links. You could have had cameos from characters from. People don't want Discovery cameos. They don't like that period. Nobody
Honestly,
I know.
I think the best period or the most interesting period for Starfleet Academy would have been its first year. Or it's first few years when the first cadets come out. They're saying
that this is the first year of after the burn, when Starfleet Academy is officially going back up and running after this big period in the 31st century. That's what they're saying. That's the twist.
I'll watch it. I'll moan about it, but get new people in. Erase that timeline. Q comes in.
Obviously, apparently Scott Bakula is pushing for a
Admiral Archer.
Series where he's
President Archer.
President. I mean, but he was brilliant as Archer, and I do like him. He's great in Quantum Leap and just about everything he does. But seriously, I mean, how interesting is that going to be? A series about the President of the Federation. Yawn,
What would he do?
Actually, I think it'd be good because it'd be interesting to see the politics of the Federation. Foundation's totally built on politics when you watch it. So I think you could pull something interesting off of the galactic powers and all that.
If it's a show like Kelsey Grammer's Boss, where he's, corrupt as, or just will do anything to keep his job and what have you, maybe, but that's not who Archer is. So
no. I've read the books for the Romulan War.
Yeah.
I'd like to go into Romulan War.
Yeah, that's why I like to. The period on Romulus in between when they weren't known to the Federation, what was going on the planet then,
and the politics on all sides. How did
somebody make them come back again?
Yeah. Go on, Malcolm. Sorry.
2 new Star Trek games coming out. a PC game based on Star Trek Voyager, where you are.
Yeah, I heard
on a
about that.
starship
Yeah, I heard
traveling
about
away.
that. Yeah.
And then for the Quest 3 headset, there is something called Star Trek Infection, and this is the
Star
worst.
Trek what?
Infection.
Infection. This is the worst cash-in ever. You are on board the
Oh,
Enterprise. You're on board whatever
no.
starship it is.
Zombies.
Guess what? They get attacked by
What? Zombies?
zombies.
Well, they did that in the last season of Strange New
Star
Worlds.
Trek zombie. Yeah, absolute shit.
Hey, they could do a crossover with The Walking Dead.
I'll probably get it.
What about the rumour of this? It's been rumoured the Doctor Who crossover where you see the TARDIS.
Oh, please don't. Please don't.
We had two technical crossovers this season, which we'll talk about in our review. We saw the
two cameo Easter egg mentions. Let's
Yeah.
hope it doesn't go. any
But we
fucking
saw that
further
we
than
have
that.
seen the TARDIS now on Star Trek, which is quite amazing, even though it's a teeny thing, but it was there.
Yeah, I mean, a little tiny picture of a TARDIS where people say, "Oh look, I saw the TARDIS," or "I saw them."
I never spotted it at the time. I never saw it.
Crossovers are like literally the bottom of the barrel of literary ideas, and I just hope.
Oh
that
yeah,
it
I mean
just
that's
gets
pretty.
beat
I mean
up.
it would never happen, but it's. I don't know. I mean then Paleo
Every time
mentioned.
someone comes up with, "Oh, the Daleks were going to be the villains at the end of season 2 of Blake 7," my head fucking explodes. You know,
Yeah,
that's
they'll
based
do
on
it.
just
If it makes money, they'll propose it.
Well,
Somebody
it
will
was based
propose it.
on a passing toilet with Terry Nation and Tom Baker at a toilet at the BBC, where they said, "Oh, what if it's the Daleks?" and then it just got blown out of fucking proportion. But it was never a reasonable idea because intelligent people don't do crossovers.
The last thing on Star Trek. Guess what? Star Trek Axanar. We're getting updates, and the prelude to Axanar. The Axanar it's going to be ready soon. It's going to be ready soon.
Hey, and he owes me 10 quid.
5 of the people that were in it are dead. You know?
I want my 10 quid.
What?
But you know, like Richard Hatch from Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, I know. Oh, and Saval. What's the name? The guy.
Gary
Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah, as well.
You're right. They're all dying of old age. Yeah. So anyway, I still need my 20 quid from that Terry.
Yeah, I want my tenner back. So I keep getting emails. I got one about a month ago. It said it's on its way. It's finally here. I'm like, I've been waiting 10 fucking years. You know what I mean?
Another 20 quid.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he was asking for money as well. He was asking for money.
That is the most ridiculous thing. The most ridiculous thing I've ever encountered was the Prelude to Axanar and this fundraiser, and then all the fan films got messed up because Paramount sued them and everything, and we still haven't got the fucking film. Jesus Christ, it better be. And
I want my 10 quid back.
My 20 quid. I paid 20 quid.
Plus with interest as well.
Yeah, it'll be about £200 each.
Surely CBS got the raging ump that people, once they started to announce details of what Discovery was going to be, and everybody was like prequel show and all that, and everybody started to say that Axanar looked leagues better than what CBS were about to bring out with Discovery, and that's what made them bring the lawsuit.
I think that is fair point. I think that's.
I totally agree, and I'm going to say, I'd probably get shut down for this. I did like Prelude for Axanar when I saw it.
I watched it. That particular film is brilliant.
Yeah, but it was so long ago.
I mean, let's not forget Axanar. They on YouTube. They do release like 10-minute films every couple of months. They have done that.
Yeah, I've seen one or two. But there's another YouTube channel. They do like an affiliation where they sort of like put Axanar stuff in. I don't know. This all seems crazy. Well, look, on this point, I think we should go into our focus of the week. So, we've got a lot to talk about. Yeah, so we'll sort of come back in a second and we'll go into the actual focus. So we'll be right back.
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Focus of the Week.
Okay, so we're back and we are going to review Season 3 of Strange New Worlds, a season which certainly had some interesting ideas. And did they all work? I'm not sure. Before we start, I just want to make sure, Martin, have you now seen all the episodes?
Yes.
Brilliant. Obviously, Malcolm has as well. So shall we just go by episodes and then see how we go from there and then make a sort of proper sort of assessment? So the first episode was Hegemony Part 2. the sequel to the Gorn story. Okay, let's just ask generally, what did you think about the first story, which sort of wrapped up the story from season 2? Malcolm, let's ask you.
Um, I can't honestly remember, to be fair. It's so long ago now. No, I recall I quite liked it. I thought it was a tiny bit rushed, but I quite liked it. And I
Okay.
did come away with the impression that they kind of pandered to the canon screaming fans a little bit, in that they decided to put all the Gorn to sleep and kind of answer the question of and then answer the question of why, like, Kirk is surprised and they didn't know them and all that kind of stuff. They started trying to answer those sort of questions, and then
Yeah,
obviously, you know,
I mean,
but
from
other
that
than that,
impression, we weren't going to see the Gorn again until Arena. But of course, as we know, we've already seen them again since this episode. But it's interesting because I honestly thought, and this is just a general sort of analysis of the season, that we would have more of an explanation of why the Gorn are the way they are in the original episode. Whether that is, as you just said, a result of the fact that they all sort of went to sleep at the end of this season or this episode, and it's just changed. They're less aggressive to them being a bit more plodding around and far less physical. But what about you, Martin? What did you think of this one?
I'd been out and I was hammered when I got in.
Okay.
And
Do you remember it?
I watched it, and there was a lot going on. And I have to agree with Mark. It moved very quick, and there were a lot of stressing out, and there were a lot of aliens sort of scenes shooting them off the walls, and it's all I seem to remember of it. I kept saying I'd go back to watch it,
I
but
need to watch it again because I actually can't remember
I
much
think I
about
have
it
to watch
myself.
it again. There was a
I
lot
mean,
going.
I know that Patel had her storyline. She had the infection, didn't she? The Gorn eggs
Yeah,
and everything, and that was a sort of a story arc for the whole season. But I have to say, I can't actually remember that well myself.
it moved very quick. And it was, I think it might have been better if they'd have expanded that story over 2 episodes at the beginning
Like
of
an
this.
episode following on as a result of it, kind
Yes,
of
and
like
then finish it in the second episode. But it was enjoyable from what I remember. There was a lot going on. It moved very quick.
I think what I'll do is I will watch I'll watch
I think I'm going to have to go back and.
I was going to say, I'll have to check it out again. The whole two-parter, I think, and I will do. I mean, now we've got a big gap between now and the next time we actually have a new episodes. It was
Yeah.
okay. I think. I mean, it's always very well acted. I mean, one thing I think this show does is that the cast are very well cast, as it
yeah,
were.
cast are brilliant.
I think they're all very, very good. I love all the new characters. I think that the only character I find irritating a bit is Pelia. I think that voice of like, yeah. I just thought, shut the fuck up and just talk properly. And she's got this whiny voice, and she's supposed to be this kind of not omnipotent, but she's very, very, very intelligent, very long sort of lived and everything. But she just comes across as like, oh, just shut the fuck up and tell me what you're talking about. But
I'm quite fascinated by Mabenga.
and Benga.
Yeah.
I am fascinated by him
I've
because
said on a couple of things that he could easily pull off his own series doing.
Yeah.
Remember Julian Bashir going on about frontier medicine, you know, out
Frontier
in the sticks?
medicine, yes.
Benga
Yeah.
could literally do that kind of a show, just out from planet to planet, helping people.
Well, it's not that. It's his past where he was a ruthless killer.
Yeah, exactly.
I
So him
love
being
that,
out trying
and
to
he's
help people, but also being a nightmare
Yeah.
as well.
And I find that fascinating with him. It
Well,
really.
one thing we're going to have, hopefully, is how he lost his role as being the chief medical officer of the USS Enterprise. He's going to get a demotion at some point when McCoy comes along, and that's going to have to be explained. I mean, Mbenga appeared in the zombie episode, which we'll talk about in a minute, which I thought was another interesting one, at least for his character. But again, it just goes back to what I'm saying about all the actual the new characters in this series, although technically Mbenga is an old character, but you know what I mean, are done very, very well. And I think that is one of this show's strengths. I like the first season with him with his daughter in the transporter beam, and she was ill, and he was trying to, that's good. That's good. That was interesting writing, and I think that his character, he's good.
I found with this series, I know Pike's like the big star of it. Anson Mount. I like Anson Mount. I think he's a great
I
actor.
do too. I do. Yeah.
And he's I've seen him in a podcast recently, and he's a really nice guy. But I liked it how they focused on different crew members this season.
It's an ensemble like Next Gen, DS9, Voyager,
Really
whereas
enjoyed
TOS
that.
wasn't. TOS was just the Spock, Kirk McCoy. But this show has taken the perspective of, I mean, even like Discovery, it really was just Michael Burnham and Saru, really, and the other characters, and mostly it was Michael Burnham actually, compared to everybody else. And but I'm actually going to sort of focus on this as we go along, but I was on with Nick with Sci Fanatics at the weekend, and one thing we were discussing was that at least Discovery had a lot of proper story, like science fiction, serious storytelling, rather than all the quirky episodes. And this is what I want to discuss, because this season has got a lot of quirky episodes. I don't think they all work. You two might love them. I don't know. We'll find out when we get to them all. But this whole series has been very unique. I mean, it's funny. I was watching some episodes of the Orville recently, just in coincidence, because I do like the show. Oh my God, the Orville is just so well written, I think, and I just think, and I do generally think that the writing in the Orville is stronger than the writing in Strange New Worlds. I also think it's interesting how the Orville started off more of a comedic show, and then turned more into serious science fiction, whereas Strange New Worlds started more in serious science fiction, is more comedic.
I think the writers of the Orville picked up on the true nature of Star Trek.
Yeah,
more
and I don't
than
know.
The writers of Star Trek now.
That's the odd thing.
When I watched Orville, it was like watching Star Trek. When you got into season 2 and it got more serious.
Yes, that's when it
you were
changed.
watching Star Trek.
Yes, you were. And that's the interesting thing.
I find with these quirky episodes, like in the last season with the singing and dancing, they're not. I'll give them that. They're into taking a risk,
which can be interesting.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, you can.
But I think there's been one or two. I think one quirky episode Stargate used to do. You get a quirky episode.
Yeah, but they had so many episodes per season.
That's
the problem is they've only got 10 episodes per season. It's not enough to do the quirky episodes.
5 comedy episodes out of 25.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's not,
but 5 out of 10 is. Yeah.
Most of the Next Generation, DS9 and Voyager had 26 episodes per season. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like. Go on, Malcolm.
Just very quickly, just to go back to the Mabenga thing while it remains in my mind, he doesn't necessarily have to be demoted. Chief Medical Officer is a position; it's not a rank. Yeah. So he could just step down.
I've always made the assumption that he's going to get a demotion because of something he does. But as you say, it doesn't necessarily mean that. It could just be that he chooses to step down for whatever reasons. I hope. I don't know.
Literally a position, and as I discovered recently, he's still on the Enterprise. Because I always thought he came onto the Enterprise in a private little war to help Spock because he's got knowledge of Vulcans.
Right.
But I rewatched the episode and there's no mention at all.
No, he's just there.
He's just in the, literally in the bay and the guy says, "Oh, this is Dr. Mbenga."
He was always there.
But it does seem odd that he has to introduce James Kirk to him, even though he's met him already several times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, the continuity issue is always a problem with this series, and we'll talk about that a bit more as we go along. Let's talk about episode 2, Wedding Bell Blues, where Trelane is introduced, who turns out to be Q, from what we understand. It says the uninvited guest disrupts Spock and the crew's reflections, and I think they are still recovering from the experience of obviously the Gorn episode before. Is this the episode where number 1 has the Vulcan? Oh no, that's later on. The Vulcan called Brad or whatever it was, Doug. I think that's later on, isn't it? Again, I'm trying to remember the episode as I'm talking, as you can probably tell. What do you both remember, and what did you both like about it or dislike? Martin,
funny,
this time.
really. It's funny, really. It's not memorable, is it?
This is what I'm saying. Going back to these episodes, I'm not remembering hardly any of them.
You know, when you go back to the original and you meet Trelane for the first time, Squire of Goforth,
Mm.
it's etched in your mind. But when I watched it, it was good to see him, but I found that there were no real need to put him in it.
It could have been
You
another
know,
alien. It could have been like a
it
new
could have
alien.
been, it could have been like another entity or something, but it was all right. It was a Sunday night filler for an hour. It was nothing spectacular. I thought the guy that played Trelane were good, but then Q
Apparently, he's
said,
well known. Actually, I've never heard of him, but apparently, he is known as I think he's a
but
comedic actor or something.
but when Q turned up at like going, it's time to come in now. I just thought you're just copying the original. There was nothing new
Well, I
about.
mean, again, also it's a prequel. So,
Yeah, but it's same story in a way, isn't it?
but I
It's just
mean,
going the other way.
John Delancey obviously did the voice of the
Yeah.
parents.
Yes.
Was that needed? I mean, do we now need
No.
confirmation that Trelane is a member of the Q Continuum or
No.
related to
No,
it in some way?
No.
Malcolm,
no,
what do you
definitely
think?
not. Definitely
Yeah,
not. I have hated with a passion, the idea that Trelane and Q are the same people since whoever it was wrote that fucking stupid
long
book.
time ago, long time ago.
Q, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
And I've had look, this kind of it's like the whole we're back to the whole the master's the war chief thing. The fact that
Oh
fans are
yeah,
so
yeah, that
some
happened recently.
fans
Yeah,
Yeah,
are
yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah.
fucking
yeah,
small-minded and stupid that they cannot
yeah.
conceive of anything bigger. There is the evidence that Trelane is a member of the Q Continue. He just isn't there. First off, he's nowhere near as powerful. He's pretty powerful, but he's nowhere near as
And they
powerful.
needed a
He gets
machine
all his
to
power from a mirror for a
Yeah,
start off.
put that
There is
technology.
no
Yeah.
machine.
evidence.
Yeah.
There is no evidence in the entire run of Next Generation that the Q are parent and son and all that, which Trelane was. It was his parents that come and get him at the end of the first one, and there's no evidence of that. They were a continuum. They were a
But
group of people called the Q.
we have seen members of the Q have children. There
Yeah,
was
but
the
that's just
episode.
because of they're them joining together with or becoming interested with humans because of
So,
Q's shenanigans.
so the other question is Trelane Q Junior?
No, I think he's
No,
just a member of the
God,
Q Continuum. Well,
no.
now it's suggested
Because
he is a member of the
Q,
Q
they
Continuum.
don't live like in our timeline. They just
They
exist.
live in a
But
different
again,
plane of existence.
he
So
can do
it's
all this stuff.
Trelane Baby Q that's in
But he can
Voyager.
do all this reality bending stuff where he is, which he couldn't. Which then, when the Spyrogothos comes out, he can't do it, and he needs a machine to do the crap that he does do.
Somebody
Yeah.
said
So how
that
does that work?
infant Qs potentially might need technology to actually do stuff until they
I
grow
agree
and
with that.
Okay,
Yeah, they probably do.
but he's younger here than he is in the
yeah,
Kirk bit.
that's
So
a
why
fair
does he
point.
not need it now, but he does need it then? So that doesn't work either.
No.
I mean, did he not need any technology in this episode? Because I can't even
No,
remember
I
again.
don't
Not that
think
we
so.
saw.
No.
So
Not that
yeah,
we saw.
unless we didn't see it, could it be hidden? But then he was on the Enterprise at one point, wasn't he? And he was
Yeah,
disguising his features, wasn't he? He was
Yeah.
like
yeah. And how did he get there,
because
etc.
it
Yeah,
does it
it's
because
just nonsense.
they're just trying to fill it in, but they don't think it all through, and people like us
The
No.
will see the
the other thing
problems.
that annoyed me in this episode is the Spock, what they call it, Nurse Chapel, Jess Bush,
Mm.
and Corby when
Oh,
she
Roger
turned.
Corby with the Irish accent. What was that all
Yeah,
about?
that.
To be sure.
Well,
He did have an
it was
Irish
like
accent. Go
I
on.
just what about poor Spock? It's yeah. She goes off and then she comes back with another fella, and it's like, well, what about Spock? What about poor Spock? It didn't take you long, did it? Poor
Yeah.
Spock.
Do you remember that Khan clip you did for me just a few months back? The little Kirk and Khan whispering in his ear.
Oh
You could.
yeah,
I
I'm
was
actually
thinking
that.
you
Yeah,
could
yeah.
do so many of them now for this. You could have Christine Chapel turning up on the robot planet, and Roger Corby says like, "Oh, hello, Christine," and she's like, "My God, what the fuck happened to your accent?" and stuff like that. You could just hundreds of these little clips now.
It
You know?
worked out. It was
Or you
pretty
could,
good though. I
yeah,
forgot I did that.
when the guy says to Kirk, have you ever met Pike? And he says, yeah, I met him when he was promoted to fleet captain. And Spock can go, really? And you didn't also meet him about 50 fucking times
Times
before that,
like,
saving the
almost every week he was
universe?
flying by in the
Yeah,
Farragut and beaming over
yeah,
and
you
having
spent
a
more time on the ship than I did.
yeah. I
And
know.
what's happened to Britain? I mean, what's going on there?
Well,
Like,
we don't. The idea is we don't see her again now until Ponfart Ston
Right.
nonsense.
Oh yeah, we
So
have. Yeah,
That's
that's it. So she's gone now until
So
TOS.
Spock's round the ship now, sticking it about everywhere.
Well, yeah, he's going up with what's her name?
I would imagine
Noonien
that
Singh.
if they
Laan.
do it intelligently, the whole Jess Bush and then now the Noonien Soong
Laan, yeah.
daughter
Laan,
thing,
yeah.
Laan and all that. I think at the end of that, Spock's just going to realise that love's not really for him, and that's when he's going to follow the path of Kolinar and become all fucking distant, and that's why he ignores Christine Chapel. I mean, something's got to happen to Christine Chapel to turn her from a medical fucking prodigy into a scalpel passing fucking nurse who doesn't really know how to do anything except whine every time Spock
Well,
gets injured.
maybe she has a
You know?
dodgy mind meld or something, and it fucks
Big
her up or
bump on the
something.
fucking head or
Yeah,
something.
I don't
Well,
know.
I'd like to know what happened to the budget on the ship, because when Kirk comes in, they've like the quarters are smaller, the uniforms
The ship officially shrinks.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
in the episode where they're filming the documentary one, they actually gave the size of the starship, and it shrunk. It's actually bigger, sorry, in this episode than it is in TOS. So how they're going to explain how the ship physically shrinks in size between now and TOS, and all the quarters are about a third.
You know, I've just the whole that aspect of it, the technology and the flashiness and how it looks being different at Kirk's time doesn't really bother me. There's far bigger fish to fry
now
on
a
this.
couple of my friends
Like
make jokes about it.
Spock saying to Bones, Spock saying to Bones, mind melds or mind fusion it is at the time, is an incredibly private and secretive thing Vulcans do. I've never done it before with a human. I thought Spock wasn't supposed to be able to lie, and yet he's done it.
He's done it about 500 times by the time he gets to TOS.
But he's done it with Kirk, isn't he? So he has done it
Somebody
with a
said
human.
to me that the Federation were having economic times and they cut back on the budgets on the ships.
Yeah, crazy.
You know,
Absolutely crazy.
uh,
So, is that yay or nay for this one?
That's a nay for that one. It just failed every way for me. Again, the cast are phenomenal in the
Yep, I
parts
agree
they
entirely.
play, but
It's just landing it. It's just not doing it with the writing. Okay, episode 3 was shuttled to Confori. In order to cure Batel, Pike and Mbenga travel in Klingon space, where Mbenga past resurfaces on a dangerous planet. This is the zombie episode. Do you like this one?
Apart from the zombies, because I just think they're done to death now. We don't need them in this franchise. It was a good episode. I liked it.
Yeah, well,
Backstory for Mbenga. Yeah, it was good.
Good. So you think if they'd just had like some sort of weird kind of odd alien race rather than physically? I mean, where they confirmed the zombies,
the zombie aspect works. I mean, it does kind of work. I mean, we don't even know they're reanimated people anyway. They might.
No, it didn't confirm that they were dead. They just resembled.
It's like 28 days later again.
Yes,
they're not zombies. They're just infected fucking people. So yeah,
like a rage virus or something. So I think so as well. I mean, I think that if they'd actually said that they were constituted from dead. And they did look like they were zombies, but as you say, in science fiction, there could be some weird disease where people are still alive, but they look like they're very, sort of reduced in their sort of form, and they look like they're rotting or something. So, any other specifics about it, or is it just a thumbs up? Basic. I mean, there's nothing else you want to throw in this story. Yeah, I like this one as well. I think at this point, this is the strongest episode of the season. As I say, another great Mbenga episode. Pike was great. So, yeah, this one's a thumbs up, and I think we all agree on that one. All right, so episode 4 is a more of a controversial one, and this is, I'm going to love your perspective of this one. It's a space adventure hour, where Laan tests a prototype holodeck with a fictional case only she can solve. With dramatic consequences. Yeah. Shall I? Let me.
How many times have they done that one before?
Well, look. I mean,
how many times the holodeck breaks down and they have to solve it?
Yeah, but this is a This is the first. Even though it looks exactly the same as the Enterprise D holodeck, the grid was exactly the same.
Yeah, but it's still the same story. They get trapped on the holodeck and something goes wrong, and then they've got to hack their way out of it.
Now,
and the safeties are off.
A lot of people were upset that it really took what they say took the piss out of the original Star Trek. You had like a character that resembled Gene Roddenberry, who was an alkie, swigging the whiskey every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You had this setup of this kind of 60s starship with a weird sort of golden Enterprise looking thing, and it was cheesy. And you had an alien held up with sticks to move the arms, and very Doctor Who-esque. And then you had this weird kind of sort of crime sort of story with Laan, where she's trying to figure out who it was. I mean, I found the crime story of the episode really, really boring, actually. It just seemed to drag on. I really wasn't that bothered about it at all. I was more interested in the actual fictional TV show, which was featured in the holodeck story. But do you both think it was just a bit of a waste of time as a gimmick? It didn't
Yeah.
work for either of you? Malcolm?
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
It did need to be. I would have preferred a more serious
See?
episode.
And again, I mean, I know people are saying like, oh, it does fit because there was that recreation deck on the animated series,
yeah.
and also this gets shut down. And everything. But they're missing the point. The holodeck rose up from replicator technology. And
That's
they
right.
don't have replicator technology yet.
That was the
So
whole
how did
point.
they get the holodeck first?
In Encounter at Farpoint, they said exactly that. They said how they created this, but they explained that, and that was when it was replicators were only first shown,
and it's in the technical manual as well.
Yeah. So how are they recreating it? Because they should be able to. It's way too early. So again, it was just.
Well, they did say it was experimental, and that
it might have worked if they'd have adapted technology
on Earth and that.
Yeah, like I think Enterprise apparently came across some sort of similar technology.
That was an alien technology. It was an alien technology.
So if it had been adapted from alien technology and they just couldn't get it to work, that much like Stargate did a couple of episodes like that. You know, the one where Teal'c is trapped inside the game and
the thing that
might have worked better than just we've invented this new technology. Can you test it for us?
Yeah, exactly. Again, it was one of those. It was an episode which really just didn't stick with me. Again, Kirk was in this as a holodeck character because apparently he was already saved on the transporter log, so they could use his features. And some people are saying basically it was just like Strange New Worlds telling people, fans of TOS, just to fuck off. I don't think it was that extreme. But I could see how people would say, look, you're really taking the piss out of TOS, which I don't think they were trying to do.
Yeah, no, I don't think they were any more than in the Voyager episodes. You had you remember they had their old black and white Captain Proton thing.
Oh yeah,
Captain Proton. They weren't taking the piss out of the old radio serials. They were just it was like a homage or something like that. So I didn't see this as taking the piss myself.
No, but what I'm saying is that some people did. I don't either. But again, it was a bit of a sort of forgettable episode. Episode 5 was Through the Lens of Time, where Chapel and Corby's guest leads the Enterprise to ancient ruins holding a dark secret. So this is technically almost like a part 1 because obviously the season finale wraps this up with the Vesta, and you had that doctor in it who, not the doctor, that nurse who was in the early episodes, and he featured in this episode and ended up in a pretty bad state. What did you both think of this one? Let's ask Martin first.
I quite enjoyed. I didn't mind it. But I mean, they tried to put a new spin on a new sort of baddie, but as it came out later, it didn't really work, did it? It was interesting about interdimensional ancient race that were evil and they were trapped.
And they were trapped in this weird sort of plane.
I love the thing of when they found the ancient city and it was a prison to keep these all powerful entities. But it's nothing we haven't seen before, is it? Is it really? It's like that episode in Next Gen where they got to that planet and they're all prisoners and they're all like taking over your body. They're all trapped in the atmosphere. Do you remember that one? It was all right. I think they could have done a lot more with it.
I liked.
It was interesting.
I liked the actor that played Ensign Gamble. Apparently, his name is Chris Myers. And it's interesting because he was kind of like in early episodes. He's like, "Oh, I'd love to go on a mission." One thing which I thought was very curious is when he got blinded. I honestly thought that he was going to get like a visor or something, but they didn't do it. They were slowly recreating his eyes.
Yes, they were just going to regenerate his eyes. Technology. They told Geordie, didn't exist.
But
Poor old Geordie.
Geordie was such a great representative of blind people for 7 seasons. He was born blind. He was given artificial equipment so he
Yeah.
could see. And then eventually he had technology in the films, but it was still not like this, where they were going to physically grow back his eyeballs, his optic nerves, and everything. They can't do that. Why do they
Yeah.
keep doing stuff? I mean, it's not like Geordie appeared in one episode. He was on 178 episodes and four fucking movies. You can't ignore stuff like that. Is it me being a nerd or is it what? Because I just, that sort of stuff irritates
I
me.
Yeah, I
think
understand that.
I'll say, you know what I mean?
I did like the thing with his eyes when he had no eyes. I
They were
thought
just
that
burnt out. Yeah,
No,
it's a
yeah,
great
that's
special
like
I
hollowed
like
effects.
out.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
But I just thought, just
I
do
found the
it.
episode to be a bit hollow, to be fair. It was quite good, but it dragged when it shouldn't have done, and then it went light speed when it should have done. Like the resolution at the end is like bang, done. Right,
Yeah.
we're all out. Okay, let's
It's
hit
like
the
they ran
magic
out.
reset
Yeah,
button and
yeah,
all go
yeah.
home.
It was
Way
a bit
and all
kind of,
that.
that's it.
There was that
On with the
kind of a
next
thought
one.
to it. Yeah.
So again, you can only sort of give it half of the review because it does sort of follow on in the season finale. I thought it was all right. I wasn't that mad about it, but
I also
go
I
on.
also kind of have a problem with the fact that Spock is there and Laan is there, but they're going to let Nurse Chapel walk up and have this thing stab her in the hand.
Yeah.
What kind of a security team allows that? You know, the doctor on it. I mean, if anyone on your team you want to keep safe, you don't want your doctor getting injured. To be fair, so I don't know. It just
Again,
doesn't ring true to me that she'd have been allowed to just walk up and put her hand in.
I've always said the interaction between the chain of command in this series compared to like the
Bit
interaction in
weird, isn't it?
Starfleet on Next Gen, DS9, Voyager, they were proper. That was proper kind of, how you're working in the
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah.
This is a very all over the place. Pike sometimes doing pirate impressions and sort of like just the way they interact. They don't hardly even call him sir, and I just think this
And
isn't quite
then
how you should be
having
in
them all
Starfleet.
round for dinner.
Yeah, and he just keeps having like sort of like almost
This
like
is why one of the
oh,
characters I hate the most is Ortega's, not the actress. I hasten to add, I think she's brilliant.
oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like the
yeah, yeah.
character. I don't like the fact that when the captain says like, "Oh, Ortega," she doesn't go, "I, captain," and get on with it.
She
She has
goes,
to come
oh,
out with
let's
some
yeah, it's
sarcastic fucking nonsense.
yeah, but
Any captain worth their salt will be, "Get the fuck off my
I
bridge and come
sir,
back
yeah,
when you've got
yeah,
some
yeah.
Yeah, it would.
respect,
It
bitch."
Yeah,
would.
well, like insubordination, they'd say insubordination because of the way you're talking. All right, so
What
that's
the only other thing I did like about the episode is it does start to introduce Corby's fascination with immortality,
yes, which
which
was
obviously
a
plays
thread which
out later
continued.
on.
Yes, I agree, and that was good. At least that sort of like held up with, even though again by TOS he's lost his Irish accent, but there we go. That's through the lens of time, so it's all right. It's okay. Episode 6 is my personal favourite. The Zealot Who Ate Its Tail. Kirk's first day as captain turns disastrous when a scavenger ship seizes the Enterprise, and of course, him and on the Farragut try to escape this weird sort of weird kind of ship, which apparently is human based, and even the front of it looks very much like a xenomorph queen's mouth, which nobody else used to see,
Yeah.
but I see that. Malcolm, what did you think of this one?
Nope. Nope,
No,
nope, 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 nope,
no,
nope. I
not
had a
you.
big
No.
debate with someone on Facebook on this because they were they're talking about the fact that Kirk pisses his pants and runs off the bridge, and they were going, "Oh, but it's his first command. No, he's not. The guy is second in command of a starship. He's already proven multiple times that he can handle situations like this. Look at what Riker has to
Riker
fucking
done
do.
by yes, yes.
Look what fucking Chakotay has to fucking do. The second that guy pissed his pants, and any one of them 4 people put it in their fucking report, that would have ended Kirk's career. That's it. Game over. You do not put a fucking moron like that in charge of one of your fucking starships, and definitely not when you've only got 8 of the fuckers. You know what I mean? Not no. That ruined the entire fucking
That's what
episode
did
for
it for
me.
you.
It was just
Okay.
absolute bullshit.
Right. Martin, what did you think of this one?
I agree with Malcolm.
Really? So I like this one more than you two. Okay. I just like the whole idea of I don't know. Actually, now you've explained it that way, I kind of get where you're coming from. So maybe I'll have to drop it down a bit.
Yeah, right. He's second in command at Farragut. When you jump to that episode with the mist, and in the original series.
Yeah, I
when
know
it
the one.
killed the lot,
Yeah.
he got on the Farragut and killed, and Aidan Kirk becomes obsessed with it.
Obsession was the episode name.
Yeah, yeah. And you can sort of get why probably at that time he might have had that moment of confidence.
Delay and yeah.
Because it's a big thing. But this, and I mean, it wasn't a bad episode, but I found the big spaceship thing of the humans that scavenging. I just come on it. It was all right. I like. Is it Wesley, the guy, the Chris Wesley, the guy's name? I think
Paul Wesley. Paul Wesley, I think. Is it Paul Wesley?
I think
Paul
he's very
something.
good.
Yeah. Did you notice he's getting more of the Kirk-isms, Shatner-isms?
Yes.
He starts saying, and we should go, and we're on the Farragut, and we got to save the Enterprise. And he's getting more Shatner.
Yeah.
I
And
noticed.
I would like to see this, if possible, that when Pike ends up in the wheelchair, that Kirk gets command. And I'd like to see this series go further.
Kirk gets command almost a year and a half before he ends up in a wheelchair.
Does he?
Yeah,
Oh, he does. Yeah, you're right.
Pike is promoted to fleet captain in
Yeah,
something like
because
2164.
That-
2165, 66.
That won't be addressed. That won't be addressed. That's not going to happen, Malcolm. It's going to be
No, because
Kirk
he's in charge of a training ship.
Yes, yeah. He wasn't on the Enterprise. You're right, but I wouldn't get your hopes up, guys. Now I'm going to rush slightly now because I only got 7 minutes left on the recording.
Right.
And I want to attack. That's why I'm slightly speeding things up. But I like that one. But as you say, it had problems. Episode 7. What is Starfleet? This is the episode where they were doing the documentary with Ortegas' brother and all this sort of stuff. I was all right with it, but let's just ask Martin's time. What did you think of this one?
Babylon 5, when the media...
Yeah, he did that apparently before. SG1 did a sort of one with a sort of documentary as well. It's not traditional.
But all right.
Star Galactica did it.
So are you two are kind of meh? It's kind of like, oh, it's all right.
No, loved it. Literally
you liked
the
it?
number one episode of the season for me. I loved it.
Okay, so that's
fantastic.
what is it that you like? Some people didn't like it, but what clicked with you for this one?
I quite like this news format. As you say, we've seen it done multiple times, and they did it really well. I think the story was quite good. I think the way they did the interviews and all that, they strayed away from the usual one, which is kind of the surprise element. You know, like in Stargate, it was who was dead.
Yes,
and all that. They kind of stayed away.
They sort of held that in the background till the reveal. Yeah,
it was just a routine run of the mill mission, and just the background behind it and how it escalated. I loved it. I thought it was great. Definitely the number one episode of this season.
That's your number one. Martin, you liked it, but not.
No, I've seen it play out that episode, different series.
So it wasn't such a big thing for you, but that's fair enough. Okay, and I quite liked it as well. Some people said it would have been all right just to have the actual storyline without the documentary style, but I think that as a one-off, Star Trek's never done it. I think that's fine. I think that's a good idea. It's just done it once, so good luck to them. Episode 8, 4.5 Vulcans. Malcolm.
Shit.
Any idea what you think about it?
The very idea that you can just inject somebody with a virus
and have a whole different physiology.
But yeah, it changes. So now, I mean, what all did all their blood turn green? And
that's what I was wondering. It's not like
he's carbon based, is he? You know,
he's based on
so much stupidity in this episode.
Yeah, what was he based on? Is it silicon? No, it wasn't silicon.
It was silicon. No, it's not silicon.
No, but he was based on copper.
Copper, yeah.
I think it was copper, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because the salt creature.
And that's why his skin colour is different. Yeah, that's what it is.
And
that's why the salt creature couldn't actually attack him because he had a different. Yeah, I mean the whole problem.
And also,
go on.
The whole Vulcan logic and all that kind of thing, and even their ability to do stuff, is an educational thing. It's something they've learned. It's not. Vulcans aren't born. They're not fucking gold. They're not born with all the knowledge of the Vulcans and all the logic. They have to learn it. So the fact that it can just suddenly be injected into you in a fucking syringe is just beyond.
Yeah, I mean it's like learning anything. I mean it's because they're naturally born
a mind meld.
They're naturally born emotional, but that emotion is suppressed through education, through many years.
And it takes them years to learn to mind meld.
So basically, it's a part. This one's a bit of a shit.
In many ways, they would end up more Romulan, but not even then, because the whole warfare side of Romulan is also a learned trait.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that they are less in control of their primal instincts. But yeah,
I
no,
thought
it
it
just
look, look, to
didn't
be
work
honest,
for
I
me.
did enjoy it. I thought it was funny. I liked it when they said to Spot, you're only like half full, can you're in fit. I thought all
And he
that
was a
was
bit
quite
upset.
funny. It
Um,
were enjoyable, but you know, it were okay. I found
okay,
it
we've
funny.
got less than 4 minutes, so I know I'm barreling through, but we've only got 4 minutes, and we couldn't quickly wrap up. Terrarium was the one with the toxic moon with Ahura. What do you both think of that one? Quick. Sorry,
Worst of the
I'm rushing things
season.
a bit. Well, go on, Malcolm.
Worst of the season. Absolute worst of the season.
Oh, really?
Hated it.
That's the one you hated the most.
Absolute rubbish. Yeah.
What do you
I
do?
mean, I don't like Ortega, to be fair, but I just thought, I mean, we've seen this scenario done so many times, and it was done
Enemy
very,
mine.
very, very badly.
Enemy
Yeah.
Mine, the one with Trip
Yeah.
Tucker on
It might have
Enterprise.
it might have been a little bit easier for me to swallow if it had been Laan on the planet, because you want the enemy aspect. You want the fact she comes up as soon as she walks on the planet.
It's
That
more
was the kind of
likely,
attitude you
yeah.
wanted to have as a
But
this.
then Lahan
Ortega
shot
just
the
had to do
Gorn at
its
the
thing, which
end.
is rubbish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I
Lahan would have been better. Go on,
I
Martin.
I think they wasted the whole Metron potential.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they wasted if the Metrons had been done something different, I'd have probably rated this the best episode. But they brought a classic race, godlike race back and wasted it. So
Yeah. All right, I didn't mind it, but I say the Metrons. Okay, and very quickly, the season finale. What did you think of that episode with the I can't remember what happened in it. Yeah, I don't. All I remember that he had this weird scene with Pike where he lives the whole life of Battelle
Yeah.
and then but
I
I go
find
on.
the entire episode was rushed just to have that
12
Battelle
minutes of the
like
yeah.
yeah,
12 minutes. Yeah, I think that's it. And the rest of it was just like, oh God, well, how are we going to get this scene in? Well, okay, well, if they go back to the thingy planet and then she can do this and then blah, 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 and we can finally fuck her off and make her the statue and we can have this
yeah.
beautiful thing. Brilliant, job done. End of season. Because this apparently was supposed to be the end of season anyway. Like the end
It was
of
the end of the series.
end of
If you
series.
watch it,
Yeah.
and like I said, we only got 2 minutes, so I am really rushing. It did feel like a series finale. It felt like
Yeah.
it was the end of the show.
Yeah,
So
and the other thing was that when her hands were glowing, they were all flying around. I were
I thought she
expecting
was going to
to see
be
some battle, and
regenerating.
then we got 12 minutes of him and her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you expect a massive battle. This guy's powerful
Yeah.
as all his mates are around him. I mean, why aren't
Yeah.
they helping him? And she just goes, and that's it. He's done. Finished.
All right,
Everything
we've
gets sucked
got.
back in. Boom,
I'm
done.
really rushing. We've got 1 minute left. So season 3. Which do you rate it the weakest or the strongest of the 3 seasons so far?
Weakest.
I do
I'd
too.
say,
Malcolm.
I'd say it's the weakest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we all agree. So listen, I'm going to rush off now. I'm really sorry, but it's just that we were talking so long with the first few, and time goes by so fast, which is annoying with Zoom. Zoom's good, but it's annoying. So I really enjoyed this review. I can't wait for season 4 next year. Apparently, it's going to be better because they have more time to write it. There was writer strikes. Apparently, this is why the quality varied. I don't know if that's the case or not. You hear this stuff, but we will hopefully it will be good. So, Martin, Malcolm, thank you so much for joining me. I don't know what we're going to be doing next. We'll have to discuss that off air, and we'll work out when we're back in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Alien Earth, surely.
Yeah, are we going to wait until that finishes? Should we do that
there's 2
next?
more episodes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that next, guys.
do
So
that
I'm
next.
sorry to rush off quickly. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you next time on the Solo on Sci-Fi
Yeah.
podcast.
Live long and
Cheers.
prosper.
Thank
Live long
you.
and prosper.
For you parents who don't speak Klingonese, he's saying, people of Earth, unite and bring your kids to McDonald's for a Star Trek meal. That's a regular hamburger, fries, soft drink, a McDonald and cookie sampler, and a Star Trek prize. Oh yes, 5 different boxes based on Star Trek the Motion Picture. Action scenes, jokes, games. He says, take it from a father who knows. His kids love him. McDonald's Star Trek meal available for your kids now.